In a world full of podcasts, there is only one compound. B&Sn, Bryce Sniff. Oh yeah.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of B&Sn. Today's episode, it's your boy, and I have Sniff back from a year plus of not being on camera, not being on B&Sn. We are back. And today, we have no topics, really. We're just rambling. We have a great discussion. You guys are going to love it. And please like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. And tell us what you think at the end of it. And I hope you enjoy the ride.
Welcome, everybody. Finally, after a year and change, we are here. And I am sitting with Sniff to our first episode in over a year of B&Sn. Welcome. And I'm Bryce. And
I'm Sniff.
And we are about to talk about everything and anything because I have zero topics tonight. I wanted to bring us back to reality. I'm just going to ask you random questions, and you're going to ask me random questions, and we're going to get into conversations like we always do.
What if I don't want to be in your reality? Your reality seems pretty scarce.
My reality is pretty scarce.
You're sitting here at home.
You
got a messed up ACL. Well, you did.
Not anymore.
But like that's a fucked up reality.
I'm almost skipping.
Yeah, but I'm able to walk. You know? You weren't able to.
I am walking. I said I'm almost skipping. I shot a basketball for the first time last night.
Damn, you're shooting basketballs?
And I could tell you
dangerous.
I could not jump because I was like, nope.
Because you're white. That's why you can't jump.
And that is it. That's the only reason.
There's a whole saying about it,
That's the only white man can't jump?
Something like that. Yeah. Pretty sure that's how it goes.
Got you.
Yeah, that's how it's relatively close.
So tell me, who's winning the World Series?
I don't know.
Who's in the World Series, actually? Tell everybody.
Who's in the World Series?
I know who's in the World Series. The Rangers and the Diamondbacks.
Oh, I thought you were just going to test my knowledge.
I do. Yes. Okay. I know a little bit about baseball. Not a lot, just a little bit.
I don't know. In the middle of this recording currently, I'm pretty sure it is 4-3 going into the fourth inning, maybe the fifth inning.
Is this the first game?
It's the first game of the World Series.
And who's up right now?
It should be the Diamondbacks are up 4-3.
Unless something happened on commercial.
And if something's wrong, then, I look really dumb. But that's fine. I can look like dumb all the time.
I mean, this is probably not going to get posted for another week and a half.
So my prediction in that week and a half.
That's what I'm saying. Who's winning? Who's winning?
The Texas Rangers.
In?
It might be 7. I'm thinking 6, but it might be 7 because I don't know. They just can't be having Max Scherzer in too long.
They've had a great run, right?
They've been doing very good. They've been doing very, very good.
I don't really know too much about baseball.
They shut down the Astros at home. I mean, the Astros were trash at home this year too, but the Astros, no one likes.
What about the Diamondbacks winning the last 2 games in Philly, and Philly was undefeated at home?
I mean, Diamondbacks are a wagon right now. They're young. They're just playing recklessly. They're just like, let's just play games.
And if they win, right?
They were almost, if I forget his name, it's like Suzuki or Ichiro. It's not Ichiro Suzuki. That's not. I understand. It's one of those 2 names. If he had just caught the ball in the Atlanta game, they might not even made the playoffs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And now they're in the World Series.
Wow.
It's kind of crazy.
Wow, that is crazy.
Kind of crazy.
That is crazy.
That's baseball for you.
What's your prediction for basketball this year? NBA just started yesterday. Or, I'm sorry, it started on Tuesday.
I was very confused when it started because I thought it started Thursday.
No, it started on Tuesday the 24th. And the Lakers played the Nuggets that night.
Clearly, it's going to be the Orlando Magic and Paolo Banchero going all the way. All the way.
I think they played tonight, actually.
Not gonna lie.
I think they won the first game too.
Not gonna lie, I'm not up to date with the team, but I know that old Pablo boy.
He is playing great, actually. He only had 1 game, but he played great in the preseason too.
Hopefully we do something. I'll be happy with playoffs this year. Give me the who's the last team that gets in? The 12th team now or some shit like that?
I think it's the top 10.
Give me. No, I think it's 12, isn't it?
It's top 10. It is a tournament, but it goes
10, and then it's 8, it's 7, it's 7 and 8, right?
Yeah.
It's like 7 through 10.
Right. Is it?
No, it's 7 through 10, I'm pretty sure.
It's 10.
Yeah.
It's 10.
I'll take the 10 seed. I'll be happy with that.
I mean,
Barely crawling in.
You're just saying like you're playing in the one play-in game, and if you win, you win. You lose, you lose.
Yeah, I don't care.
Do you count that as playoffs, or that's just a play-in game?
I mean, the Mets made the wild card last year, and they counted it, and they got trashed. So I'm counting it.
But is the wild card different?
Banners hang forever.
Do you think it's different though?
Fact or fiction? Banners hang forever.
They hang forever, but do you get a banner for being in a wild card team?
I'm sure they will hang it, and it will hang forever.
Well, I'm sure.
Oh, you do get a banner in MLB for it. If you go to the stadium, it's up there
for
a
wild card game.
Yeah, for winning the wild card, for making it, and then if you make it,
wow,
you get the wild card plus the NLDS.
They just give everybody trophies
these
days, right?
Everything out there.
You see the in-game thing that the in-season.
I don't know how that's going to work. I don't
for
understand
basketball.
that.
I don't either. Let's see how it is.
The East versus West for the
All-Star game.
All-Star game.
That's cool though.
I like that better, and I know they're finally doing something good.
I think that's cool. I don't know about this in-season tournament, and who really cares about it. I think it's just another way to get LeBron a trophy that Michael Jordan can never get.
Oh, I lied, guys. Sorry, not to cut you off. It is 5-3, bottom of the 5th. Diamondbacks are up.
And
Gallen is still in the game.
Wow.
But yeah, I think it's just so LeBron can get showed off more in his fleeting years.
LeBron got another trophy. He's got he doesn't have it yet, but it's something you can add to his reservoir or whatever.
You could definitely just mark it in the books as LeBron's winning.
LeBron's winning.
Yeah, that's LeBron's thing.
You see that? I'm sure I follow basketball more than you. You follow baseball more than me. Did you see that LeBron is on a minutes restriction?
No,
they say 28 minutes a game, and the second game of the season, they already stopped that. He was in all fourth quarter. I think he played like 34 minutes or 35 minutes yesterday just to win him the game against the Suns, who don't have Bradley Beal, didn't have Devin Booker, and it was just Kevin Durant and a bunch of B-list NBA players. And they had to keep LeBron in for extra time on the second game of the season. That's crazy. So I guess that restriction is out the window. Right now, currently, he's watching the World Series. I'm watching Miami lose against Boston with 1 minute and 56 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
Miami will turn it around, though, because they have Dame Lillard, right?
No,
they totally got him.
We didn't get him.
They totally.
No, we didn't get him.
You didn't?
No, we didn't get him.
Oh,
that's fine. I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about it.
I remember him just like Bryce was over here, super happy. We're gonna get him. It makes sense. He only wants to go here.
He did only want to go here. He even called the Blazers out after he went to the Bucks just to say, "Yo, y'all up, y'all." I wanted to be in Miami, but I'm happy for Dame. I know he's not going to chip with Milwaukee because he has to go against my Heat anyway in the East.
Damn, didn't Giannis just sign an extension too?
3 years.
Damn.
I'm not worried about that.
For like another.
I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about that.
I'm
I'm just saying that we swept them in the playoffs last year.
Okay? They didn't have Dame Lillard and Giannis.
It's not going to matter. It's not going to matter. It's not going to matter. We got this. We got this. We got this. He winning the chip all the way. Damn, he made that. Wow, actually, Sniff called it. We're only down by 4 right now. Minute and 26 seconds left. I'm gonna give you like a broadcasting. Oh my gosh, look at this guy. He shaved his head. Number 9 on the Celtics, White. Oh yes, he's driving down. Oh, just passed it. He just passed it. Oh, shoots. He shoots. Oh, they just scored a 2-pointer. Oh, here we go.
That's too much.
Lowry's coming down the
game.
Lowry's coming
way too much. Such bad podcasting. There's gonna be so many people that just click off right now. So all those people, sorry, whoever's still listening.
Wow,
you're a trooper.
Wow,
you're
yes.
a trooper.
Keep listening. Keep listening.
So you want to talk about some real stuff?
Oh yes, I actually want to. Before we get into real stuff, I want to ask your opinion on something real.
What?
What is your opinion? Because on the podcast last week, you weren't there, unfortunately, but we spoke about this. What is your opinion on World War III? and the us getting involved with the Israel Hamas
World War II?
3.
No, 2, because there hasn't been a 3 yet officially.
Well, I'm saying if
No,
this happens, it would
there's
be
not going to be a 3. There's not gonna be a 3. No.
See what happened last night?
No, I don't want there to be a 3.
See what happened last night?
No.
See what happened last night?
What happened last night?
The U.S. actually had a strike, like a missile strike on a couple of places over there in Israel. I don't know exactly. I'll put the information here, but
I didn't see that.
America is getting involved.
I didn't see that. All I know is
You see that there's a Republican as the House Speaker now?
all I know is that they like the whole thing over there is never going to be solved. It's just not going to because Hamas wants to kill all the Jews and not the Jews, I should say all the Israelis, whatever. And then all the Israelis want to kill all of Hamas because they did atrocious things. And it's like it's not just black and white, it's not just whatever. It's like the Israelis have done messed up things to the Hamas people, and the Hamas people have done messed up things to the Israelis. Why do you have to keep perpetuating it? Why can't you just figure it out? I don't understand. Like,
I mean, we're getting involved though.
yeah, I don't want us to get involved. Why don't we have to get involved?
I'm not disagreeing with you.
shouldn't have to
That
get
wasn't my argument.
I know. We should be at home here. You spent $100 billion in the Ukraine so we can save the Ukraine, and we got all these warships over by China. We're just looking to get into stuff and not to get super into the weeds. But you know, a fact.
Tell me.
The only president in the past like 20 years, maybe more, to not get us into a war was the big mean orange guy that nobody likes.
So that was my next question.
Fact.
If you can vote for a president right now, we have an election tomorrow morning. All right, not right now, obviously, but tomorrow morning there's an election. Who is your vote right now?
Not Biden and probably not Trump, because Trump is too divisive. Because if it comes down to those two, I guess it's Trump, but it's like I'd rather not. I'd rather go for like.
What about RFK? You see RFK?
I like RFK, but he's not going to get enough support because people think that he's an anti-vaxxer when he's not an anti-vaxxer. He's an anti what's in the vaccines. He is vaxxed and he has vaxxed. His kids are vaccinated. People say he's an anti-vaxxer because he's against the aluminum and the different metals and silicates that are in it. That some of the stuff, from my understanding of how he said it and went about going about it, like it's not really needed. It's just like it's like helping binding stuff, but there's other chemicals you can put in place for it. I'm not a doctor. I don't know. I don't know everything, but that's my understanding of it. I could be completely wrong.
My only issue with him is his voice.
In there.
Yeah,
but whatever. I can deal with that.
Me too.
At least he can talk, unlike fucking Joe Biden. They don't even want him up there.
No, for sure.
As little as Joe Biden can talk, that's what they want. They're like, just say nothing and repeat this.
Well, you see, they give him like note cards, and there's actually something that got released about him, like a picture of him having a note card telling him like, you have to walk right off the podium.
Yeah.
Walk straight,
Yeah, because he's too old. I've been saying this to my coworker, like our friend James, honestly, but in 10 years, think about this. Say in like 10, maybe hopefully not 15, but 10 to 15 years when all these lifelong boomer politicians, the Nancy Pelosi, Mitch McConnell's, I can't think of another one in my head off the top of my head right now, but all the old people, Lindsey Graham, all the old people who love going to war, who have been deep state. That's what the deep state is, not the whatever people want to call it. The deep state is the career politicians that are in every corporation's pocket. What is it going to look like without them behind the wheel? Like, are we going to get younger people in there who actually are compassionate or like that, like kind of understand stuff? Or are we going to get a bunch of young, millennials in there that don't know anything? Being a millennial, I don't know. I don't know anything. But are you going to get people like me in there? I don't want people like AOC in there because she thinks she knows everything. But then like she gets a bunch of shit wrong.
I mean, you don't want to say you don't know anything. You don't know anything about things that you haven't studied on, right? If you actually studied on these things, I know you personally. If you put your time and effort into studying these things, you would know it.
But I mean, like
you would know it.
People who know politics but aren't in the deep state. Or we could get people who understand like like foreign policy, people who understand the economics. I have the basic understanding of it.
But I'm saying,
And
if
it's
you
not the basic
actually, if
understanding.
you were a politician, you would be a type of person that's going to sink into
Oh, yeah,
being a
100%.
politician and be.
But the problem is, once you get into that, do you go into politics and get corrupted immediately, or are you corrupt and that's why you go into politics? Because it's like there is no like middleman. Look at Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard was like, I would vote for her in a heartbeat. Tulsi Gabbard would have my vote in a heartbeat.
She has your heart too, though.
She's pretty good looking. Pretty good looking. Bonk. Red or blue or even libertarian, she would get my vote because she's been to war. She understands the atrocities that happen at war. She's a compassionate person and she's actually lucid. She can talk. She can think. She'll take people's advice. But she can't be controlled, and that's why people don't want her in there, aka the deep state.
So, do you think the president of the United States should have been in the military or Navy or whatever? Went to war.
I don't think it's a requirement, but I think that's.
Do you think it's a benefit, though?
100%. I think it's someone who understands that like war isn't just. It's not a video game. It's not like there's no casualties. There's no losers. There's people who get. There's so many civilians. But if you want to wrap this all the way back around to the Israel thing, like there's so many civilian casualties that happen. Israel claims that they never attack children and they never, they don't commit any atrocities. They cut off water, medical supplies, and food to 2.3 million people in the Gaza Strip, 1 million-ish of them being kids.
Well,
they say they don't target kids.
The Gaza Strip isn't part of Israel.
In the Geneva Convention, that would be a war crime. Like post-World War II, that is a war crime by definition, but people don't want to call them out for it because that's a minority, and you can't say anything bad about Jewish people.
Well, in the podcast that we did last week, we did a really heavy discussion on this.
Defending Hamas either. This is me just being very down the middle because Hamas is messed up too. As cool as those paragliders look, because those paragliders look very cool. You saw the pictures?
Yeah,
they look very cool. Like
it was fun, right?
You look fun. That's some Call of Duty shit.
Would you paraglide?
No, because I'm a pussy. But that
would you jump out of a plane?
No, probably not.
Not at all.
Probably not. No. Because only insane people jump out of a perfectly okay plane. So, right? Because like if the plane's okay, I'm flying.
I was 30 minutes away from jumping off a plane.
Yeah, no, but he's partially crazy. So
I'm partially crazy.
But like, not even
paragliders.
But they were very cool. But like that's messed up. What they did and all the hostages they have and all of that stuff, terrible, completely terrible. The best comparison I've had, I listened to this podcast, Part of the Problem. Dave Smith is a libertarian. He calls it very much down the middle, like if you're whatever, like he doesn't say these, but he's very like down the middle with it. He knows a lot about politics, been talking about it for years. He was like, how is this any like if he went into a park, or his example was if I take a kid in my backyard and I line him up and I shoot him execution style, that's terrible. That's like, oh my God, terrible.
Right.
How is that any different than going into a park and just shooting, knowing there's kids in the park? You just randomly shooting. There's no difference. There's no difference. One might be more brutal. There's no difference in the two. You're still killing kids.
There's no difference.
There's no difference. So why are you just bombing citizens now if you're Israel? Like, if anything, send the Mossad in there, which are like the craziest killer group ever, the CIA of Israel. Send them in there. Just get the Hamas people. Just kill them. Just those people.
Well, war is not. They're at war.
I know.
And war is not pretty.
And it's crazy because Palestine like lulled them to sleep. Like the last 2.5 years, like Israel even started to let up some of their terms and stuff on because they've been very good and everything. They acted like nothing was happening.
Well, the Hamas
happened. Like
they won political power in 2006.
Yeah.
And the guy that actually that is in charge of, the Hamas in Gaza, he got into political power. He was in jail for, I don't know if you know this. I don't know his name offhand. I did last week, but he got charged in 1998, and I know this, for killing 6 people.
Mm-hmm.
He went to jail for 2 centuries. and he got out, and he got voted into political power in 2017. And in 2021, when Israel actually tried to kill him, he came out 10 days later after. It was in May of 2021. He came out 10 days later after when Israel tried to assassinate him, and said that we will be like coming after you. You know, this was in 2021. Now
I think I heard something about that.
And now we're in 2023. I mean, how do we not know? You know, I asked them last week. They gave me their opinion. How we have such high level security.
Egypt,
they were warned twice, right?
Yeah,
twice
Egypt
they were
warned them
warned
that they had very like volatile groups of like Hamas, like gangs. Essentially,
it was like building up.
Yeah.
Because it's like if you guys see the map of how it is, it's Egypt, and then Gaza. It's like a small strip on top of Israel. And then it's Israel.
Yeah.
It's literally like this small strip on top.
And the whole thing is Israel has been taking more and more land ever since the First World War. What was that? And since World War I, they've been taking more and more and more.
Actually, the United Nations said it was illegal for what they were doing. What Israel was doing, because NATO gave Israel land, right? Once World War II ended, they separated land between the two, okay? And then if you actually look at what Israel got, it's like a certain amount. You can see the map. So they had a war, a 6-day war. Don't quote me on the year, but I think it was like 1966 or 1967.
Yeah, Dave Shapiro was going off.
And then they took more land away from the Palestinians. They took more land away. Israelis or whatever.
That they weren't supposed to.
Right. And then actually United Nations said what they are doing, taking more land that was agreed upon. They're taking more land that it's actually like unjust. It's illegal for them to do that. And they were just doing it. Over the years, they kept taking more and more.
The thing that pisses me off is like if you're a Jewish person from Brooklyn, you can go over there and just be like, I need a house. Go into a Palestinian's house and just be like, this is my house now.
Is that real?
You can. I found a video. I'll send you the video. I saw it. I've seen it a couple times on Reddit. Like, and this one guy, he's been there for years. And the whole reason he's there, he literally said in the video, he's like, and she has the paperwork in the video. This is like a Vice video. She has it's on my Facebook. I'll send it to you. She has the paperwork.
Have you done more research on that though, or is it just?
I've heard about it from way more than just that video.
Okay,
100%. I've heard about that from Jewish.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I don't know like how dramatic it actually is. Maybe it's like, just like
it's not you walking into a house and just saying get out. It's like you go into the court, whatever they have over there.
It's like more like paperwork and shit like that.
They do it in a legal way, but still, it's fucked up.
Yeah. To some extent, like it's messed up. Like they just go, they're like, this is my house now because the landlord or landowner says it's mine, even though like the landowner is the lady because she has the paperwork saying like this is her house. You know? But
wow.
Yeah. So. He was living there like illegally for like 13 years, and then when the video was taken, I don't know when it was taken. I'm not sure, but that she was like, I can't live here. I got kicked out of the house, and the guy's like, yeah, but you're not ever gonna live here again. Like if I'm not living here, some other person would that isn't you. Like you're not gonna be allowed to live here again. Like he said that.
Like no matter who lives here, it's never gonna be you.
It's not a Palestinian.
Right. It has to be a Jewish person or Israeli.
Israeli person.
Gotcha.
Which is like. What are you talking about? That's crazy.
Wow.
That's crazy talk. Yeah.
Wow.
So and I understand that Jewish people are a minority, but like we have to stop acting like they're like Hispanics in like New Mexico. You know what I mean?
Well, I seen another video today, and I had this discussion.
Have so much money,
and you know this too. This is a discussion I mean you had before. If you gave everybody land, I just seen it today again, and it was on the Joe Rogan podcast. This is not where I seen it, but I seen another video that was related to it. You can give everybody a house in this world, the whole world population, you can give them a house and put them in Alaska, and everybody would be able to fit in a house in Alaska. That's how much land we have. When people say, oh, we are overpopulated in the world, we are not overpopulated. We are not overpopulated.
No, we have a lot of space.
A lot.
And that's why, like,
if the whole world can have their own house, if every person in the world can have their own house in Alaska, say Alaska was flat and you have your own house in Alaska, we have enough land.
Do you want to talk about the immigration policy in New York?
I was going to go into the immigration policy with you.
Policy in New York is ridiculous. They brought in all those people from the border, tens of thousands or 10,000.
Well, before you get into the New York policy, what's your belief on them coming in here in masses, right? They're coming here in like tens of thousands a day.
If you're going to allow people in here, they can't go to metropolitan areas. They have to go to like urban areas, and you have to find them jobs like out in Idaho, like working on farms or working in factories or working.
Do you agree with all these people coming in?
If I don't like it, no, I think it's not sustainable, and it's definitely not sustainable for big metro areas. Mayor Adams was just on there the other day in New York saying like a couple months ago, like this will destroy New York City.
Yeah, but he originally wanted them to come.
Yeah, I know.
And then he switched up.
I know. I'm not saying he didn't do that. I 100% know that, but it's just a fact. What he's saying is also true. Like, you can't sustain that policy. It's not possible.
Well, how are they
bringing in so many people? They took over hotels, high class, high end hotels, and was like, "No, you're not a hotel."
Not even that. That's what I found out. They're taking over gymnasiums in schools.
Yeah.
So now kids can't even have gym class.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because these people are in their schools, in their gymnasiums, in their schools.
Yeah.
So first off, I wouldn't even want my kid to go to that school at that point, right? If I had a kid.
30 days in housing, and then they get kicked out, and not kicked out like go back home, like
you're find a different place to go.
Find a different place to live.
Just walk down the street and go to the hotel. Yeah.
Go find a box somewhere.
It's crazy.
That's insane. It's insane.
What about these? Do you see that there's these videos? And again, I don't know how true this is about these people are getting paid by like different, like the United Nations and different governments overseas to be over here, and they're housing them, like giving them like money on a card, like certain amount of euros and stuff.
No, I haven't heard about that.
Well, that's a little creepy, right?
I don't know. I don't know. I didn't like the Chinese government or the Chinese cops that were in New York. Did you hear about that one?
No.
There was like, this was a few months ago. Like they had legit like Chinese authorities in New York, like almost not hunting down, but like doing shit to Chinese people in like Chinatown and stuff in New York. It was like 7 of them or something like that. That
like Chinese police from China?
I don't know if it was police, but like Chinese agents or Chinese,
like from China though.
From China,
like no, they don't have any
from China.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah. This was like a few months ago.
Wow.
It was like a crazy thing.
What about all the shooting in Maine? Did you hear about that?
Yeah, and everybody's starting to buy guns because he's still on the loose.
Yeah.
The gun sales like skyrocketed.
Well, I mean, everybody should carry a gun.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you can legally carry a gun, I think all 50 states, there should be something that you should be able to carry a gun. Why are we not at that point yet? Why are we not at that point?
I mean, the world's crazy enough. You have to have something to protect yourself because you never know what's going to happen.
Seriously. And then they put out warnings to like watch yourself in like, subways and any public transportation because of, the possible of World War III that we're getting involved in. There could be some retaliation on home ground with, these people that feel indifferent about what America is doing. I mean, I don't feel like we should be doing this, but I'm never going to be, bombing anybody for it. But
yeah, there's no reason. There's no reason for us to be getting involved in foreign affairs when we have enough problems at home we have to take care of. We have all that money we spent could have been spent at home doing anything else for the inner cities, anything else to improve schools, anything else to improve just the way of life, getting rid of the Black Rocks of the world and the Vanguards. We spent money, working on trying to do that kind of stuff. But no, we keep perpetuating that stuff because it doesn't make money if you're not at war, because the war machine needs to keep turning.
Well, that's a huge thing that you just said, the Black Rocks and the Vanguards of this world, because of the discussion we had last week and how major these companies own pretty much 80% of everything, right?
They own, I think they're on pace to by 2030 own 60% of all single unit homes or something like that.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
But not just homes.
Yeah.
Let's not even talk just homes. Yes, that's crazy too. But they literally own like 80. They're in the stock market.
Everything.
Well, I'm not just that. In companies, if you look at who's the highest shareholder in companies, BlackRock and Vanguard is the highest shareholder. They say at every major, I think it was the top 10 companies, we looked it up. The top 10 companies in the stock market, they have somebody sitting at a table at every single one of them, either Vanguard or BlackRock or both for the same company. They own shares in every company in the top 10 companies in the world, in the United States. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That means they got to say in everything that happens.
Yeah.
And I don't think people realize that enough.
And that's all, like, it's insane that that no one sees through it, that like all these companies just buy off the politicians too, and that's why the politicians do their bidding.
Oh yeah.
Look at the painkiller documentary with the guy from the FDA who regulated it after going to a hotel room meeting, got locked in a room for like 36 hours talking to these people, and then magically came out and the drug was not known to be, or whatever the wording was, whatever the 2 words they needed, and then boom, opioid crisis started. Like, it's all corruption. 3 months later or whatever, the guy left the FDA, had a cushy job at Purdue Pharma.
Oh yeah, and
like,
you know what? He's still not getting. He's not in trouble.
No, he's still not getting in trouble.
Nothing happened,
which is crazy.
Yep, I agree.
Insane.
Well, we have a lot of things that the world continues to overlook, and it's like people like us that work regular jobs, that live a regular daily life, that are lower middle class, right? Because we're not, they're really in between of like wealthy and poor. Is the line between the two is the gap is crazy now. It's not like it used to be where it's like you actually had poor, you have middle class, then you have rich, then you have wealthy. It's like wealthy and poor.
In New Jersey, if you make $60,000 a year, which used to be a decent wage, you're like barely getting by with if you're paying for an apartment, if you're paying for a house, like a $1,800 to $2,400 rent, that's a lot. Like, you're spending a lot of your money just on your rent check, and then you have everything else. Like, you're not living.
Well, you see how much
living, but you're not going out all the time. You're not having a lot of fun with your friends all the time. Like, which is crazy.
Well, you see the median of how much you have to make across the United States to own a house?
No,
it's 116,000, I believe it was. The report came out like within the last 2 weeks. You have to make $116,000 a year. That's the median average household across America to afford a house now.
That's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So who's making that?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Who's making that money? I mean,
That's
thank God. Again, I'm not broke by any means, and neither is Sniff, but I mean, thank God we're not, because living is hard, man. Living is hard. And if you look at the videos of what you used to pay last year for groceries and this year for groceries, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Like, how do you survive? And if this continues to go up, and the dollar value is going down.
Yeah, that's why gas is shooting up such a crazy amount too. That like gas is going to be out of this world. But if we actually do go into a war, gas is going to be out of this world.
Oh yeah, I mean, because we're not using our own gas.
Yeah,
right, or oil. I'm sorry, own oil.
It's because Biden got rid of so many rules against fracking and all, or he implied rules against fracking and all that Trump had actually suspended, which allowed us to frack more. That's why the gas went down, because we were selling natural gas. We were actually making money on our own product, whatever, yada yada. But we need to do that again. But people don't like the fracking because their water's messed up. Just pay for their water to get fixed, and then boom. It cannot be that much.
It's never going to happen. That's the problem, though, right?
Yeah,
because every 10 years they say, oh, we're going to have this type of crap. Global warming. Oh, we got to throw money into global warming. Yeah. Oh, we got to throw money into this. It's something new every 10 years.
Global warming is crazy because it's like the Earth has their definition of global warming when it started, like when global warming first started. You want to take a guess on what year it was?
when like they came out with global
like when they say like the Earth has been heating up since this year. What year do you think it was?
When did roads start being built? I would say the 1920s.
1860.
Wow.
They go all the way back to 1860. Do you know what was happening pre-1860? From I would say, pretty sure it happened in the 14 to 1500s.
What happened?
This thing called a little ice age. We had a mini ice age, little ice age, whatever, where you literally could get ice cubes from the London, like the River Thames or whatever the hell it is, from London, like the English Channel. Little ice age. Everything was cold. We officially got out of the little ice age.
How long did the ice age last? Do you know?
Officially, we got out of the little ice age, they say, in 1860, which coincides with the Industrial Revolution. That's when we started using a bunch of machinery and steam engines and burning stuff.
Okay.
So that's when they're saying from then there's been a steady rise in the carbon level in the air.
Okay.
That's what they say. And that's why, and that reason, that they almost say that reason alone, but they don't say that. But they say that's the reason why everything is getting so hot. That is not the reason why everything's getting so hot. We were in a little ice age, meaning everything was super cold. So the inverse of that is we're going to get warmer. Historically, we've been warmer than what we are. We're lucky that it's warm like it is now. Historically, it's been a lot warmer than what it is. We were in a little ice age, and that's why it's been so cold, and that's why like we used to have these crazy winters. Does the carbon in the air help? No, absolutely not. But you know what it does help with? Guess what plants love? Carbon. That's what they need to grow. So that's why we have such luscious gardens and such bountiful fruits and of all our plants, because everything's like kind of like a greenhouse effect. That's why when we build a big greenhouse facility, you pump in carbon dioxide so that way they eat it up.
Well, according to Bill Gates, we should get rid of plants.
I don't care about Bill Gates. He's gonna die soon.
Let's pie him. Bring back pieing.
Bill Gates touched kids.
He did. That's a fact.
So
that's a fact. He's in the black book.
So I don't care.
If anybody knows what the black book is, that's Jeffrey Epstein's. He's in there. He took flood. Why is Bill Gates connecting with Jeffrey Epstein? Why? What? Tell me.
All I know is that this whole global warming thing is it's just more stuff for them to complain about and try to make regulation on. You're not going to get carbon neutral, especially not with China and India. And what are you going to do? Are you going to tell China and India, no, you're not allowed to industrialize like we did?
Well, in China, don't they do like full days a week that they just shut down everything? Like no one does anything because they have such high pollution over there.
I don't know.
I think they were. I don't know if they do it
maybe
weekly,
in some areas,
but I know they have done it to where they literally tell everybody, "We're not working today. Shut down everything," so it reduces the pollution that's going in the air because of how much pollution they actually have, and it's a lot. It's a lot. The smog, right? That's what smog is. The smog over there is crazy. It's just unbelievable, and you can't go by what these people in the I don't trust the government. Do you trust the government?
No.
I mean, unless I see a scientist that's not associated with the government come out with a study, I don't trust it. I don't trust it. Dr. Fauci, what is he? A doctor, a scientist? What is he? I don't trust a word he says.
The whole thing is like, even still, like with the whole global warming thing, we could be carbon neutral, we could be carbon negative. Unless China and India do something, it's not going to matter anyway. They produce most of the world's pollution.
I mean,
and then
we're all going back to dust eventually.
You know, I heard this. I didn't look into this, but do you know what the biggest cause of contaminants is in the ocean?
The biggest cause of contaminants?
Like I think it's something like 90% or more what the contaminants is in the ocean. Plastic contaminants. You want to take a guess?
I don't even know. I
use fishing lines.
Really?
People just cutting their nets away because they got tangled up or whatever, and that's what's in the ocean.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. That's what I heard, and it's from like the I think it's from that not Black Rock documentary, the Blackwater.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the bad things about or like the Seaspiracy, like that type of stuff where it's like the bad side of everything that they do fishing wise.
I did not see that. That's crazy. It's believable.
Yeah.
It's very believable. I mean, it actually makes sense.
Yeah, because you're not seeing the turtles with the straws in their nose. Like that's. Do I like biodegradable straws? Sure, but like they suck.
Yeah.
They
do.
literally suck.
They need to come up with something way better.
Yeah.
Instead of paper.
Yeah.
Or cardboard or whatever they use.
I don't
It's
like
horrible.
it.
It's
I don't
horrible.
like it at all. No.
The bag situation. I mean, listen. Come on now.
Yeah. No.
Come on now. We can just. I seen more masks on the floor when it was pandemic time than I seen plastic bags on the floor in the last 10 years. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know, it's just I'm being serious. Like
100%.
I don't see plastic bag. Yes. Go to the hood, excuse me, you see that. But not as much. I see more masks. Believe me. Believe me, people are just dirty. Can we talk about that? We just got dirty people in the Earth people don't give a fuck. I could say that now, right? I concur. Earth people don't give a fuck about the planet. That's a fact. They don't care about the next person because if they did, there wouldn't be all these fucking there wouldn't be all these vaccines that they would be making kids take if you actually cared about the younger generation instead about money, right? We wouldn't be teaching the things that we teach kids in schools if we cared about education on kids, right?
No, there's definitely vaccines that are good. Not all vaccines are bad. That sounds like an anti-vaccine.
Do you see the list of it? The list of like vaccines that kids take nowadays, though.
Yeah, they have to take a lot of vaccines.
Like not a lot, a lot.
Yeah, I know. But like the measles, the shingles, polio, all them, they're like you should probably take those.
It's more than just the three, you know.
That one,
100%.
Like you should probably take those.
Agreed, but there's a lot.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of shit that you got to take, and I just don't like the flu shot. Maybe when I get older, I'll take it, but I'm not taking a flu shot until I get older. Like. I've been severely sick. I don't know if I've had the flu before. Maybe I have. Don't know. But I've been very, very sick. I know I had the first COVID. I still skated through that. Like, it's like.
I mean, you have to take it. Well, you don't have to take it. What I was going to say is if you feel the need that you have to take it, go take it. Right.
100%.
Right. Like if you're older, if I was older too, I'm like.
Your body, your choice.
Exactly. That's exactly what I believe.
Yeah.
Exactly what I believe.
I don't care what you do.
Yeah,
don't make me do it.
I'm not judging nobody.
Yeah.
Take anything, right? Listen, I take glucosamine every day for my joints and everything. I talk to people. I've gotten people to take glucosamine. They love it. I've talked to people. They took the glucosamine. They didn't think anything different. And I talk to people and they say, "Why are you taking glucosamine? That's stupid, right?" And I say, you know, if it works for me, it works for me. What if it doesn't work for you? It doesn't work for you. Like people have their own opinions on everything, you know. And some people drink coffee over tea. You know, some people drink soda. I don't. You know, you can't judge a person by what you do in your life. You got to do what you do and have that person do what they do. But everybody should care about everybody else, right? Like when I came back, Earthlings don't give a fuck about this planet. It's because they don't. We be littering like crazy, including me. I'm not against it. You know, I'm not saying I don't do that, but we really should be more cautious on the next human being, like the next person. You know, that's why you hold the door open for people. It's like curiosity, courtesy. You know, and we need to be more like that. We need to be more Earthling mentality, not, you know, you're white, I'm black, you're from Israel, and you're a Palestinian. You know, we need to be people.
Yeah, I don't see that happening, sadly, though, because everybody's so set in their chimp. We're all chimps. That's just what we've always done. It's a tribal thing. Everybody has their tribe, and that's it. It's
sad, though, isn't it?
Truth.
It's sad.
Yeah, I mean that's how it goes, though, because it's like I can't trust you. Like going back to whatever times as chimpanzees, you'd see another chimp from another pack, or you know whatever, and you'd be like, "No, you can't be here. You're gonna try to do something to us." Like
that's fucked up.
Doesn't happen.
It's fucked up.
Doesn't happen.
Let me get into another topic. Aliens.
I don't want to talk about aliens. Talk about old people. You see that they found not old people, but did you see that they found
those two aliens in Mexico?
That was fake. That's so
100% fake.
That's so fake.
They said they checked it.
That I could make a better paper mache than they did.
I don't think you could.
I don't think I could either.
I
But that was a paper mache. That was fake, or a clay statue. Or something. I don't think
they are real.
Cool, very cool, and I will 100% say I'm wrong.
You believe in aliens, though?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I just don't think those.
You don't think that was real? You think that was just a?
I think if aliens exist, they're bigger than that. If aliens exist, I think they're.
You think they're bigger than that?
They were only like this tall.
Yeah, they're small.
No, I thought they'd be. I'm saying this tall. That's probably about
3 foot.
I would say they're probably closer to about 4 foot. They'd be closer to dwarf
We're
size.
arguing about a foot.
Well, but they'd be closer to like a dwarf size. Like,
why do you say that? Why is your opinion on?
Because I'm sure there's a species that is small, but you never hear about the short whatevers. You hear about like the tall grays, the Nordics.
Okay, from all the stories you're talking about. Okay.
About like little like ones like that, or if they're small, they're usually like crouched up, like that one from the Virginia Brazil case, that the First Contact documentary. That one's like crouched down on the corner or whatever. And from their depiction, it still kind of looked tall, or it would have been tall.
Taller than
like
3 foot.
Lanky,
taller than 3 foot.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. Real quick. Did you see the Bigfoot seeing the guy on the train seeing Bigfoot walk?
I know. I hope that's just a person in the woods.
Well, they had a picture come out later on. They said that there's a guy that just dresses up. I can't believe that. I'm sorry.
I love that. I love that. That's my favorite thing in the world.
I like that theory, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that dress up as Bigfoot. Just
my favorite thing in the world.
There's no way.
No. I think I would.
It's your favorite thing in the world that people dress up as Bigfoot.
Yeah. I would love to believe that there's just a guy out there that like
just dresses up as Bigfoot.
Like every now and again, he's like, I'm going camping, and then he just goes out there. He has his little Bigfoot costume, and he just goes and fucks with the trains. Like he knows the train schedule. That's what I would love to believe.
That's funny
because that's hilarious. That's such a good prank.
That is funny.
Know that there's people on the train, whether they had their camera or not. They're like, I saw Bigfoot. I saw something in the mountains, and people are like, you're out of your goddamn mind.
That is
you're
funny.
Off your rocker.
Right? That is funny.
And normally
they had a guy like in the town of wherever that was that does dress up as Bigfoot, often.
Probably was him out on that hillside.
But he did not confirm or deny it was. It's like me and Batman. You never see me and Batman in the same room. That
video was very reminiscent of the Robert and Gimbal footage, or whatever the hell the old footage is of the first like Bigfoot where they found it and they were loggers. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
There's this video, I forget the freaking name of it, but like a Robert Patterson video. I don't know, I'm messing it up. But basically, like this guy was like, I'm going out there to go find Bigfoot. And he goes out and he's in like this logging area and he's looking and he's panning his thing around, and you see this Bigfoot walking and like swaying his hands, and he turns and looks and he keeps walking, just walking out in the distance. And this guy's like, I found him. The camera they used to film that, they never paid for. The check bounced on them, so they never even paid the people for the camera.
Wow.
The person that, if you look up the guy, I forget his name, but if you look up the guy who claims to have been the guy in the suit, the Bigfoot suit. If you look at him walk and look at the Bigfoot walk, it's the same walk.
Thing.
It's the same walk. Like it's so fake. And this one was very akin to that.
Well, that one was definitely fake.
Yeah.
That was definitely fake. But this other one, it's just something I'm asking. All right, let's talk about old people. Or whatever you say. You say old people, well, actually not old people, but go ahead.
Old people. Now I'm trying to think what the hell I was going to say. Now I fucking forget. Old people. We were going to talk about.
No, you were going to talk about something about old people.
Old people. It was about. So on Joe Rogan, he just had this guy on, Brian Marescu, and this guy has like a whole theory about like, I'm going to mess this up too, but it's like the Christians and the Catholics being a sex cult originally, and like that's why like there was like there'd be priests who go and like do rituals or whatever. I'm probably messing this up very much, but like over in Spain, they found like ritual vases and stuff that had, at least one of them had traces of ergot and other different chemicals along with beer and stuff in it, which ergot has DMT like properties to it, and it's like a fungus that grows on all the cereal grains, wheat, rye, bar, or whatever, all that stuff. So they could have been tripping, like making these brews to actually trip and take like DMT, but like microdose it or whatever. And then that's his theory. But they were talking, there's this Netflix show that I had seen, it's called Cave of Bones.
Mm-hmm.
I want to watch it, but I didn't know what it was about. I thought it was about something with Egyptians. It's actually about these old people called Homona Leni, and it's like Homo sapien, but Homona Leni. It's like just a different species of Homo
sapiens.
Well, a different species of homos,
Okay.
Of the Homo gene, the homogeneous gene, whatever the hell it is. And it's in this cave system. I want to watch it. Where like
it's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix. It's called Cave of Bones. I want to watch it, but basically that they had these mass burial site inside of this cave system. That part of the cave system is only like 10 inches wide or something like that. They had to crawl through, if not less. I think the guy said it's like maybe 7 inches wide. And they crawled through it, and they know that it's a burial site because they found a whole new species of human. Like this human has never been found before. Like they didn't know it existed, and then they went there and they found 15 different humans worth of homonoleti, people, bones and stuff, which is crazy.
Is there anything different about these bones, or you don't know too much?
The crazy thing about them is that they went underground to do these burials, and they know that they were under there for a while at least because they had pieces of animal, like they had not antelope, but like ancient antelope or whatever, like their ancestor, like small bones of like deer and that kind of elk, that kind of like small, not elk, they're big, but like smaller, like that kind of animal. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what a fauna again. I don't know, whatever a deer is called.
A fawn?
No, I don't. That's a baby deer, but like
I don't know.
Whatever, like a deer, antelope, horse, zebra, like that type of animal type. How they're on 4 legs and they fucking run. That's what I'm talking about. Those people, but are those things? But they had fragments of that in the cave that were burnt, so they know they had fire in the cave. They're able to manipulate fire at that point. So it's like, and these people, the reason it's so crazy is, and I'm pretty sure they were around like I think this was like a 300,000 year ago thing, or maybe I'm getting that wrong, but it was very old, like very old, like where they're like, oh my god, old. Very old.
And what, you think that they created Christianity?
No, but it's like a whole new species of human that we found. We didn't even know about.
So how'd you get into? You originally stated that the Christianity thing and all that stuff.
Brian, that's what Brian Marescu does.
Oh, so what's the difference between that's what the guy that was on the podcast?
Yeah. He wrote a book called, I'm pretty sure it's called The Sacred Mushroom and the Cross.
Okay.
And it goes into like how.
So these two are not related now.
No.
The bones that got buried that they found.
Was on this latest one was to talk about these bones and stuff.
Okay.
Other just stuff in general.
Okay. But I was a little confused on why we were talking about.
Sorry about that.
Okay. I got you. So totally separate things. Sniffs, when he's talking about the documentary, it has nothing to do with Christianity then?
No.
Okay.
No.
Got you.
But they have old drawings and stuff in there that aren't like perfect, but they're like slash art or like sketch art. You know what I mean? Like if you were to take a knife and just start cutting the wall and make a design or something like that, that's the type of art it is.
Okay.
Yeah. It's weird.
Well,
it's very cool.
Before we end this, because I actually want to kind of end it at a good time on the hour mark, maybe a tad more, depending on how this conversation goes.
Damn, it's an hour?
Almost another 7 minutes, it looks like.
Damn.
We before this podcast, we were talking, he's like, hey, you heard about the Rosetta Stone? And I said, yeah, you were talking about the program back in the day. They used to have commercials that used to.
Didn't know the Rosetta Stone was a real thing.
There's a lot of people that are going to watch this that have no idea what the Rosetta Stone is.
That's a lie.
All right. Well, I still really don't know about the Rosetta Stone besides the very little information that you told me about it.
And we went to the same middle school, and you had Miss Blake, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you had Miss Peck.
I had Miss Peck.
She taught me about Egypt and the Rosetta Stone. I know for a fact too. This man's, I know we went to the same school. I know this man learned about it. 2 different classes. I know he learned about it. At least 2 different teachers. I don't remember. But
I know you wanted to say something about that. Why don't we talk about it? You looked up a little bit more.
No, I didn't talk about it because I started looking at dehumidifiers for the other thing that I wanted to do.
Got you.
Dehumidifiers are cool. We can talk about that. But no, but the Rosetta Stone, like I understand what it is. Like it was a stone that we found that helped us depict or decrypt what hieroglyphics mean, and I understand that. I understand what it does. I know what it is. I don't understand how it was used. Like, I don't get how someone was like, this is an A, or, or like because I'm pretty sure it got translated into like Greek or Roman first. I could be completely wrong because again, I haven't looked into it, but I would imagine that because it was found a long time ago. I would imagine that it was I was translated into one of those languages first, and then kept getting translated. You know what I mean? The reason that program is called Rosetta Stone is from the real Rosetta Stone.
Yeah, I understand that. I understand that. But I did not.
I thought that was
remember
hilarious.
it.
I thought that was hilarious because he was like, no, what's a Rosetta Stone? And I was like, oh my god, oh no way, you just said that. Like my mind was blown.
I said that.
Yeah,
I said that.
Well, maybe we'll do a little bit more about the Rosetta Stone next time. We can talk about it.
I'm with it. We can do a little.
I'll actually do some research and I'll figure out how it was used and everything.
Okay.
And we'll start doing actual topics. I think what we should do is also like if there's a cool.
Well, we're having a podcast next week.
I'm thinking that if we,
I want you to be involved in that one.
Fine, but I'm thinking that we should also do like we watch a documentary and then we have a couple topics, and then that's the podcast. Like
I'm
we
down
watch
for it.
something on Netflix.
I want to get a podcast with just me and you, and I also want to get a podcast with we have
Whoever
guests.
else.
Yeah.
But
I like the podcast between me and you. That's why I didn't want to have a topic today. It's been a while. I wanted you to vibe with the fans and the non-fans and anybody that's listening. I wanted you to vibe. We could vibe with them together. I mean, you're watching the World. Who's up right now? Do you know?
Yeah, the Diamondbacks are still up 5-3.
Okay.
Which doesn't help my Texas winning this.
It does not,
especially because Texas is at home.
And
I don't mind if the Diamondbacks win either, though. Fun fact: you want to end on a fun fact with this? Yeah, I'll end the fun fact at the end, and then you can do your outro first.
My outro.
Whatever you want to do.
We're actually not even at an hour, so we can end it though. But
fun fact, then whatever I'll say.
In fact, do it.
Fun fact: the last time the Diamondbacks won the World Series, do you know what year it was? Do you want to take a guess?
I don't even want to guess.
2001, when a certain pitcher blew up a bird on the field. Do you know who did that?
I don't.
Randy Johnson, one of the best pitchers of all time.
Okay.
He blew up a bird on the field.
Like he was throwing a ball.
He threw a ball.
And a bird got in the way.
Flew in, blew up, died on the field.
Damn,
You can
okay.
see the video still to this day.
Okay.
Fun fact, they won the World Series that year. Fun fact, you want ready for this fun fact? A pitcher on the Diamondbacks this year, while doing long toss in the outfield, also hit a bird and blew it up.
Wow.
Or at least killed it.
Wow.
And now the Diamondbacks are in the World Series. So
Wow.
Diamondbacks are winning the World Series because they killed a bird.
Wow.
Now, those birds had to die for you Arizona fans to feel loved. I hope
that's a crazy fun fact,
I
actually.
hope you guys can live with
That
that.
is a crazy fun fact.
Yeah, that's a fun fact.
Fun fact, bro.
That is a fun fact.
Wow. All right. So how do I want to end it today?
How do you want to end it? That's a good fun fact.
That was good. I don't even think I could top it.
I had another. Oh, another crazy stat.
Let me hear it.
I got a crazy stat. This is about football though,
Let me hear it.
and this is about your division. So you're gonna be even more mad.
I'm mad already about my fucking division.
I'm a Broncos fan.
I'm
over
a
here.
Broncos fan.
So the Chiefs.
Ah.
I'm a Giants fan, so it ain't much better.
Oh, the
It's
Chiefs.
far worse. Tyrod Taylor is better than Daniel Jones.
The
We're getting
Chiefs,
another-
if they win this weekend, are you gonna do something against the Broncos? Because I know
No. Well, the Chiefs have never lost. Patrick Mahomes has never lost against the Broncos in his career. Fact.
Never.
Ever.
And he's not gonna lose this
Do you
weekend.
know, do you know Patrick Mahomes' record? This isn't even a crazy stat. Do you know Patrick Mahomes' record against his own division, the AFC West?
I think it's 16-1.
It is 29-3.
29. I think it's 29-3, actually.
29-3. He's lost to the Chargers twice and the Raiders once.
Can we talk about he's one of the greatest, if
Crazy.
he's one of the
Crazy.
greatest quarterbacks of all
So,
time
this
right now.
leads into my stat. The Kansas City Chiefs, since 2019, I do believe it is, have been in first place in the division 102 weeks out of 111 weeks.
That's crazy.
They've only been out of the first place in the division the first
First
week of
couple
this
weeks,
year.
probably, right?
Well, the first week of this year because
Okay,
they
because
lost,
they
to
okay.
Detroit, and then it was like week 2 to week 9 or something like that, or like the 2019 season.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
That's a crazy stat.
That is crazy.
Just always in first place.
What
I
about-
would kill for that?
He's a Giants fan, right?
I would kill for that again.
What about Daniel Jones is trash and Tyrod Taylor is better?
I know. Never should have paid Daniel Jones. I said that a while ago.
Backup's better than the
Never should
starter.
have paid Daniel Jones. He's a solid backup who might be able to win you like a game like every now and then. He's not the
not the answer.
The Giants' future quarterback is not on the team. Fact.
He's not the answer.
Like, no way.
Neither is Russell Wilson, but this is a sports talk for a different time. Sniff, you got
At least Russell Wilson was like proven beforehand. Daniel Jones wasn't anything.
Yeah, you're right. Out of the two, I would want Russell Wilson over.
100%. I agree with that.
I agree.
So
you got any closing statement?
We'll end it with this. Arizona's up 5-3, top of the 8th. There's one out. My prediction's probably going to be wrong, but if my prediction's right, then all you guys owe us a follow and a like and subscribe.
You guys should follow, like, and subscribe anyway, because we make almost funny content all the time when we do podcasts and stuff. And
if we could figure out how to do this, like playing golf or something, that'd be fun too.
We could.
Or playing video games, because we say some very funny
crazy shit. Yeah. We haven't played video games in a while, actually.
You haven't. I play all the time.
You play just baseball nowadays.
Yeah. My player's decent too.
Yeah.
So
and I have no interest in playing MLB, whatever it is, the show, right? Or something like that.
Yeah.
I have no interest. So
whatever.
Listen, guys, stay positive. Stay positive. Come on. Oh, wrong finger. Stay positive, guys. Know what I mean? And
always keep B&Sn.
Yeah, always keep B&Sn. Stay great. Hope you guys have a great one. See you next podcast. Deuces.